It's birthing season. But say, neighbor, neighbor, it's your birthing season. It's your birthing season. That's what you ought to declare. It's your birthing season. It's your birthing season. It's your breakthrough season. It's your breakthrough season. It's your time of birthing and breakthrough. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Becoming Alexondria, and today y'all, I'm here to share a topic that has just been on my heart so much since we've been in this 9th month of the year. It's birthing season. Now I know it may seem cliche, right? But I really feel like in this time that right now so many of us are getting ready to birth the very things that God has promised. And so maybe at the beginning of this year you started and you said, God, I want everything that you put inside of me to come forth. I feel it even more now that we are in a time where we are about to birth out and walk out the very breakthrough that the Lord has promised us. And so sis, let's go ahead and get into this video. So sis, I want you to know that this is your time of birthing. You've been through the pain, you've been through the exhaustion, you've been feeling like you've had to tighten up on a lot of different things. You've had to eat better, you've had to think better, right? You've had to watch what goes in you and what comes out of you. You had to be mindful of how you carry yourself because of what's in you. And so I want to talk to you guys today about the fact that it is your birthing season. The reason why you had to go through all the pain and the frustration and the difficulty during these last few months, because so many of us, we're about to birth out the ministry that God has put on the inside of us. So many of us, we are about to birth out that generational wealth and prosperity, right? And we will not live in poverty and think the same way. Our children's children won't have to worry about the spirit of poverty, because God has put something in you to be able to break the spirit of poverty. That God has put something in you that has been being cultivated these last few months. I believe it's so important that these last few months God has been so adamant about us knowing who He is, right? About us knowing who we are through the eyes of Him, right? He's been so adamant about us changing our appetites, right? He's been so adamant about talking about the fact that we've got to watch what goes in us. We've got to watch who's around us. We've got to watch what comes out of us. We have to watch our language. We have to watch what we say. We have to watch what we continuously begin to put out there, because just like you are when you are pregnant physically, this is the same way that it is when you are pregnant spiritually. When you're pregnant physically, you may start off and you may end up having nausea and vomiting and being a little dizzy, because your body is trying to adjust to the fact that you have another human being birthing in it. You might be staggering in the beginning because you're trying to figure out, oh, why is my body feeling like this? Why am I going through like this? Why am I feeling like this just don't feel right? Why does it feel like something's in me, but I feel like everything around me is basically getting disturbed? Like I feel like my routines ain't the same. I feel like the way that I would do things before is all getting disturbed. Why? Because God has put something in you that's about to be grown, that's about to be cultivated, that is about to be ready for when it is time for the birthing season. So I know that a lot of us, we started out, and I'm gonna make it very plain and very simple for us today, because I want us to begin to relate this to our life. So I don't know where you may have been when you first started out. You may have been on that job, you may have started that family, and God was literally rearranging some things. He began to pull out of you the very things that you were normally used to. He began to request the things out of you that you didn't normally like to do. Whenever you are growing purpose inside of you, you've got to realize that whatever you are carrying becomes the focal point. And so what that means is that whatever I got on the inside of me that's trying to grow, I have to make sure that I'm catering to that. And just like it is in the physical, you can't sometimes eat the same way. Certain conversations and times that you used to do things, it gets completely reorganized and rearranged. Why? Because you are in another place. God has put something in you that He's trying to prepare to birth out. And so this is why in your last season, you felt exhausted. Your mind was trying to adjust. You were trying to figure out, God, why am I feeling like this? I'm feeling a little nervous. You starting to pull me out of this and move me out of that. And it's like the more that you walk into into it, God is like, I'm trying to show you that this is the process of conception. The process of conception of the promise means that you have to be spiritually sensitive to know that you cannot go on the same way that you've always gone on, because there's something on the inside of you. And that is the same way in the spirit. This is where the transformation starts to begin. And so your body, meaning, in other words, when I say your body, I'm talking about your mind, your perspective, your mindset, your ways of thinking, the ways of doing things, the ways of treating other people. God began to come after all of that in that beginning season, because he says, whatever you about to carry, all of that ain't gonna be able to help you to grow what I'm trying to make you grow if you keep it in your lifestyle. And it's not supposed to be there. You're not gonna have a healthy birthing season. When it's time for birth, it's gonna be a little hard. You might cause all kind of different complications. So God says, I had to cut it off, and I had to stop certain things, and I had to make you aware of the parts of you that were not gonna be good for when it was time for you to birth out what I put in you. Oh, y'all, this is good already. Y'all also want to talk about the fact that there is a season and a time when God began to grow you, and he began to stretch you. And during that time, it felt like, man, like growth really hurt. Like if you was doing it for real, you realize that growth really hurts. Growth is uncomfortable. Growth will begin to stretch you. It will begin to pull you till you feel like you don't have nothing left. It will begin to shake you like you don't even realize, God, what is going on? Everything started out fine, and I was good with making different little changes, and I got the rhythm of that. But now here's something else comes. And the thing that God put on the inside of you, now it is causing you to grow even further. Like you thought that little growth that you did at first, yeah, it was good. And God like, okay, come on, that's good. You got the hang of it now. But now there's the next part. There's some trimesters you got to go through. Now there's some different stages that you got to walk through. And during this time, that's when that baby going to start developing. That's when what God put in you is going to start developing. And it's going to start developing because you're going to grow beyond what you've always known, what you've always seen. Growth demands that you come out of that mindset and that thinking. Well, how does this relate to you today? You have to come out of culture's mindset. You have to come out of the statistics of this world. You've got to come out of the way that the world thinks. You've got to come out of the way that the world sees life. You have to come into the Spirit of the Lord. You got to see your life. You got to see who you are. You got to go through the process. And during this time, y'all doing that growth and stretching season, y'all, let me just be 100% honest. Y'all, when I was pregnant, I was fatigued all the time. I was tired all the time. I felt dehydrated, y'all. I started going to my doctor's appointment because he was trying to check and make sure that I was keeping my weight down and all kind of other stuff so that the baby that I was carrying would not be affected. And that's the same thing that God's been doing with you these last few months. He's been causing about a growth and a stretching in you. At the beginning, you did some things and you had to let go of some things and you had to rearrange your schedule and your time to do these things. But God was even stretching you even the more when you got to that next part. And God says, I was trying to bring you even more in, because the more that you walk forward into what I'm trying to get you to birth out, he says there's going to be more that is required of you. And so while you were walking through this process, y'all, a lot of us, we had to give up some things. A lot of us, we had to sacrifice. A lot of us, we had to say, no, I can't talk right now. A lot of us, everything that we saw around us beginning to change, relationships change, friendships change, connections change, our conversation change. We begin to be quiet. We begin to show up less. We begin to talk less. We begin to say less. We begin to not judge people as much. Because why? God was growing you and stretching you, because he's getting you ready to birth it out. Y'all, there is a waiting and a carrying part of the season as well. So what does that mean? In regular pregnancy, you have to literally wait the 9-month term or however long that it is so that that baby can be developed. Sometimes the weight of the thing that is on the inside of you, it can cause your whole body to be in a state of stress and pressure. Why? Because what you are carrying and what God put on the inside of you, it is growing weight now. So what does that have to do with you? So in other words, that means that whatever God has been causing you to change who you are and what you've done and how you do it and all of that stuff is helping you now, because now you're in a place where you can feel like, man, I wish this would hurry up. God, I prayed for this to happen and I started doing what you told me to do and I was walking and trying to be obedient, but God, it just feels like it's taking forever. God, it's like I'm sitting around waiting and I'm praying and I'm fasting and I'm seeking your face, and God, I'm still waiting, but I'm carrying what you told me to carry. God, it feels like I've been carrying this for so long. Man, can I just get some of this weight and this pressure off of my belly? Can I just get some of the weight off of me? I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I've been doing too much. I feel like I'm all over the place. And that's how we've been feeling in the spirit. Lord, I've been trying to do what you told me to do, but Lord, I'm getting impatient. Lord, I'm trying to do what you told me to do, but God, all this pressure and all this resistance and all this pain and all this stress on my body is just taking a toll on me. It's changing me. I don't even look the same way. God, I'm changing. God, I don't even know who I am anymore. Some of us, you will begin to not even recognize who you are, because in the middle of what God put in you, he will cause you to even change how you even look, how you even walk, and people would not even begin to recognize you if you don't watch it. And people that haven't seen you in months and years, they won't even be able to recognize you when they do see you, because what God put in you is causing a change on the outside of you. And so now that you've gone through all those different stages, now that you've had to walk through the exhaustion, now that you may even had to walk through some embarrassment, now that you may even had to walk through some trials and tribulations, now that you may even have to walk through some pain, now that you may even have to go through all that stuff that you went through, but God is saying now is your time of birthday. He says it's birthday season, baby. He said, I told you that I would not do this thing and not make something come up out of it. He says, I am the God that completes. He says, I am a finisher. He says, whatever good work that I begin, he says, I'm faithful to complete it. I'm faithful to perform it. He's more than faithful to finish a thing. He is a finisher. God says the things that I put in you, he says, I know it caused you some pain. He says, I know it caused you some exhaustion. He says, I know it caused you some hurt. Hey, he says, I know it caused you some discomfort. He says, I know you had to stretch outside of what you were common with. He says, I know you had to be ridiculed. He says, I know some things had to hurt your heart. He says, I know that you had to sacrifice your time. He says, I know that you had to sacrifice the way that you think. Hey, he says, I know that you had to change your appetite. Hey, he says, I know you had to change your language so that you could prepare when that baby comes forth. You'll know what to do when it gets here. He says, I know you've been preparing for this birth. And he says, I will not give you the baby from the birth. He says, as long as you walk with me, he says, I'm going to show you what birthing looks like. Hey, he says, everybody's been talking about birthing and everybody always talking about, oh, they're going to do this and do that and we're going to do this. He says, I will show you what the birthing season looks like. He says, what you see now, he says, something things that you see right now, he says, this was only the process to get you to what I'm promising you. He says it had to happen the way that it did, because if it didn't happen that way, you wouldn't have birthed what you're about to birth. He says you wouldn't have done what you're about to do. He says you wouldn't be able to go where you're about to go. He says you wouldn't be able to access all the things that you're about to assess. He says, I'm telling you, it is for your greater purpose. He says, I'm telling you that this is by design that I've created this. He says, whatever I put in you, I will birth it out. He says, it's my responsibility. He says, whatever you're getting ready to birth out, he says he's already confirmed that it's already his. And so you ain't got to be afraid about stepping in the thing that God told you to do. You ain't got to be afraid of carrying that baby and pushing it out this season, because the truth is, a lot of us, we didn't allow the baby to stay inside of us for too long. God didn't put it in us and we did not let it come out, and so it died in the last season. But I'm here to tell you again today that whatever God is putting you this time, oh, it's going to come forth, because we're going to move, because faith without works is dead. And so if you say you got faith, I need you to work it then. I need you to show me that you got faith. And just like the woman with the issue of blood, y'all, it didn't say that she sat there and waited till she got her healing. It didn't say that she sat there and waited till Jesus came to her to get her healing. It says that she said within herself. So what I'm telling you is that in this season, you ain't got to sit around and wait for nobody to affirm your healing. You ain't got to wait around for nobody to affirm what it is that God told you to do. Honestly, for most of us, God had already done said it. God didn't already affirmed it. God didn't already confirmed it. God didn't already came back and spin the wheel again and told us again what we're supposed to do. So we don't need that kind of thing. Now what we need to do is we need to say within ourselves, if I could just touch the hem of God's garment, if I could just touch the border, if I could just touch what's hanging from him. He says, if I could just touch that, then I could just be made whole. I could be walking in freedom. I could hear her talking to herself. That's how you're going to have to talk to yourself in this season. I could could hear talking to herself saying, he's going through the crowd. I know they all around him, but some kind of way I could get through there. I mean, I need my healing. I'm still bleeding. I had this issue for 12 years and I'm tired of carrying this same old thing around. But I got to get my healing today. I got to be made whole today. So let me see how I can do it. He got a hem. Okay, it'll be unclean if I touch him. So I'm going to just touch the hem. If I could just have, I'm going to believe in that. I'm going to just go for the hem. And I could see her ducking in between the crowds and pushing through the people to get to Jesus because she knew what she had in her. She knew what she needed. She knew what she desired. And that's what I'm telling you. You know what God has put inside of you. You know what God has shown you. You know what God has said about you. And you see God. And I need you to get enough faith to believe that I don't care what I got to do. It may seem a little hard, but I'm going to find my way to touch the hem. Yeah, it may seem a little hard to start this because I don't have no example of becoming a millionaire. But I'm going to see how I can touch the hem to get what I need. I'm going to walk in that faith. And then I'm not just going to say I'm walking in faith, but I'm going to actively move and have faith. I'm going to work and have faith. I'm going to labor and have faith. I'm not just going to say, I believe I could be whole if I just touch his arm, but then don't move to do nothing. See, the woman with the issue of blood, she already had her mind made up. And when that's what you got to get to the point, you got to talk to yourself and say, you know what, man, it may seem a little hard, but I got to get my wholeness. Man, I got to get this ministry up. Man, I got to get this business started. Man, I got to get my mind right. Man, I got to get my health right. Man, I got to get this thinking right. God, I got to get my family in a better financial thing. So God, how can I do this? Lord, what can I do? How can I touch your ear so I could come into agreement with what you have said over my life? And then you begin to get to where Jesus is so that he can show you the strategy and the instructions that you need to follow in this season. That's how you got to talk to yourself. God, I know what you promised me. I know what you said. I got faith to believe it, but God, not moving towards you. God, and I'm going to do whatever you told me to do. God, I'm going to do it the way that you told me. I know there's a way that I could get to my wholeness. I know there's a way that I could get to that business being on top. God, I know there's a way that I could get my family financially free. God, I know there's a way that I could start this business because it's not in my own strength, but because I got faith. God, I believe that you'll come into agreement because I got faith. God, I believe that you'll help this thing to come out of me because I got faith. So I'm coming to y'all today just to encourage y'all that it's your birthing season. I don't care what you see. Don't you know that right before it's time to push out a big baby, that it will cost you some exhaustion, that you will feel like you got pressure, that you will feel like you can't go no more, like you will feel like you're impatient. But I'm here to tell you that is your time to birth. Push it out, sis. Now is your time to push it out. Push it out now. Don't you wait another minute. Don't you wait another second. Do what the Lord has told you to do. Walk in the instructions of the Lord. Walk in the strategy of the Lord. And then say within yourself, if I could just touch what Jesus said about me, if I could just go for that promise that God keeps telling me, if I could just go for it and get into that business class, and if I could just go ahead and join that financially free community, if I could just go and just start the business, if I could just go and just do the content creation, and I could just go and just do it, and God, you just continue to lead me and instruct me and teach me my way, then God, if I could just do it, and I tell myself, I say within myself, and I make up my mind that I'm going to do it, then what you put on the inside of me to do, it got to come forth. Jesus told the woman with the issue of blood, he said, daughter, thy faith had made thee whole. Go in peace. Walk in your victory. In other words, that means, sis, daughter, because you decided to believe the word of the Lord, and then you actively begin to take steps towards doing that thing, the things that you can do, daughter, I got to make sure that everything that I promised you, that at the end of it, after you get it, that you say, it's well. Daughter, I got to bless you. Oh, y'all don't hear me. I got to make sure because your faith was so great that it caused virtue power to go out of me. And because you came in agreement and you moved on it, God says, I got to bless you now. Y'all, I'm sweating on here. Y'all, it's so hot in here today. But I just had to get this word out. Even if I'm sweating, I'm going to still upload it because there's somebody that needs this word. I don't know how much, y'all, this thing blessed me. I was just sitting in my room watching The Chosen. But before that, God had told me at the beginning of September that it's your birthing season. And I said, God, okay, I mean, that's kind of cliche. You know, it's the 9th month of the year. He was like, yeah, I hear you and all that, but it's your birthing season. He said, can't you feel it? Can't you sense it? He said, can you not perceive that it is the birthing season? He says, everything that you you've gone through up to this point is almost just like how you had to go through in your pregnancy. He says some people thought that you was about to have a physical pregnancy, and God says, I brought you through a spiritual pregnancy. He said, yes, for some of you, it may be physical, but he says for others of you, it's going to be spiritual. He says, I'm waiting for it to show up. He says, I'm waiting for the time when it will manifest. He says, this is the time, this is the month, this is the season, this is the hour for you to manifest what I put on the inside of you. He says, this is the hour for what I put in you to come out. He says, because there's people waiting on your manifestation. He says, the earth groans and it moans for the manifestation of the sons of God. That means that the world is waiting on you. That means that sisters are waiting on you. That means that your brothers in Christ are waiting on you. That means that the mothers in Zion, they are waiting on you. There's a people that are assigned to your name, and whatever area you are called to dominate in, you've been sitting around, everybody else, you getting answers from everybody else. He says, but this is the time in the season where I'm going to make you the answer. He says, you waiting around for an answer still like you still in that same season. But God says, I'm causing you to be the answer. If you would just get up, if you would just push, if you would just get up and do what I told you to do, if you would just show up in your business, if you go back to those journals and pull out those ideas, if you would just go back and look at the blueprints and what I gave you at the beginning of the year, there were some things that I stopped doing in the middle of my year that I believe that God gave me at the beginning of the year so that I can prosper in my year. And sometimes when you're living life and things just happening, you begin to go with the winds and the ways of life sometimes. And so sometimes we get off track and we forget some of the things that God has given us for strategy and instruction. And God brought that very thing back to me. I believe it was at the end of July, beginning of August. And he says, I need you to go back to the blueprint. He says, you're still trying to figure out how to do this. He said, but I gave you the blueprint at the beginning of the year. You just neglected the view. You just neglected the vision. He says, I gave you instructions. I gave you strategy. He says, now you just got to go back to it because that's the thing that's going to help you to prosper. He says, that's the thing that's going to help you to come forward. He says, that's the thing that's going to cause you to manifest. Y'all, God says it's just about that time. Prepare yourself for birthing and breakthrough. And I was walking through the hallway trying to come get my stuff so that I can make sure I'm all set up and got everything that I need to finish this video out. And I heard that so plainly in my spirit. And I'm like, okay, God, like it's the season for birthing and breakthrough. So God, what are you saying? And so I just told you guys about the birthing part of this. This is the process that you've had to go through because God says, I'm trying to get you ready to be able to birth it out. But now I want to talk about breakthrough. So what does breakthrough mean? It says an act or instance of moving through or beyond an obstacle, right? So in other words, it's an act, right? So that means you got to do something to get something, right? Y'all, I was talking about the woman with the issue of blood, and I said that she had to press through the crowd. She had to come through the thing that was so flooded and full of people and different things that could have possibly blocked her, or obstacles that could have blocked her from getting to the thing that she had faith to get. And so when you say breakthrough, it says an act or instance of moving through or beyond an obstacle. And that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to move through those feelings. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's my alarm for my declarations. You're going to have to make sure that you do an act of moving through, or you move beyond something that's been trying to fight you, something that is put in your way that could possibly stop you, but you won't allow it to stop you. And so it is also to y'all, it is an instance of passing through a barrier or protection. So that means that whatever's been blocking you, whatever's been trying to stop you from getting to that other side of where God is trying to bring you, it will no longer be the thing that has to hold you. That means that breakthrough is coming, right? You're going to be able to literally, like, this is going to be the gate right here, and this going to be you. It's almost like a glass. And when you throw something through that glass breaks through. And so I want you to know that that is what's going on for you. You went through the process. You're in your season of birthing. And God says when you birth this way, you're going to break through. You see how that went through? You're going to break through. Whatever's in your way, you're going to break through, just like the glass is when a rock goes through it. You're going to break through. Whatever's been standing in your way, you're going to break through. The glass ceiling, you're going to break through it. Yeah, you won't have to worry about that stuff being in your way because you're going to have enough power, and you're going to move through it, and you're going to break through the obstacle. You're going to go beyond what is in your way. You're not going to allow your depression to keep you in a place of stuck any longer. You're not going to allow your stinking thinking to keep you in the mindset of poverty any longer. You're not going to allow what people say about you and don't like about you to stop you on what you're doing this season. God says, I'm causing you to break through. He says, I'm causing you to go beyond regardless what's in your way. He says, I don't care what they put on your name. I don't care what they said about you. He says, don't you know that when I bless the man or woman, don't you know that when I've called you blessed, no man can curse you? Don't you know that when I've opened up a door, nobody can shut it? And when I close the door, nobody can open it? God says, don't you know that I am in control of everything that you do? Don't you know that the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord? And don't you know that I've already worked out your plan according to the plan that I've placed for your life? He says, don't you know that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and who are called according to his purpose? Don't you know that you've got to be transformed by the renewing of your mind? Come on, don't you know that you should be a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto me, because it's your reasonable service? And because you decide to make it your reasonable service, I'll transform you and I'll shape you and I'll mold you all over again. He says, don't you know I'm that kind of God? He said, if I did it for Esther, I'll do it for you. He said, if I did it for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, I'll do it for you. If I did it for Daniel, I'll do it for you. I'll cause the lion's mouth to close up. He says, I'll cause whatever's been in your way, I'll cause you to break through it. He says, whatever's been trying to come and stop you, whoever tried to come and plot against you, he says, nothing came and nothing was completely done that could have stopped you. He said, that was only something to help you to get into the right place where you're supposed to be. He says, you think that all those obstacles and all those things that you went through, he says, you thought that was to push you back. No, it was to propel you forward. So whenever it's almost like, how do you say, it's almost like that slingshot effect. It's just like David, like when you pull back that slingshot, when it's time for you to be shot, God says, I'm going to make sure that you shoot far, because all that stuff that you had to go through that looked like it was stretching you and it was growing you, but it looked like it was bringing you back. But really, the truth is, it was only getting ready to break you. Woo! It was getting ready to break you forward. That's why you had to be pulled back in this season. That's why you felt like you was being pulled back. Yeah, that's why you felt like that pain that you went through was to pull you back. Yeah, that's why you felt like those connections that broke was to pull you back. And you thought that you was going backwards, and you thought that you were in some cycles, and you thought that you lost people because you're just not that person, and you thought that you went through that because you're just that bad of a person, and you thought that you had to be pulled back and stretched back because you thought that God had changed his mind about you. But I want you to know that you are pulled back so that you can break through. I'm telling somebody today that this is not your end. This is just your beginning. Since God wants to blow your mind, let him blow it. Let him do what he wants to do. This is your birthing season. I don't care what you see. I don't care what you hear. But when it gets hard and when it gets rough and you feel like you got to tussle to make it to the end, this is your time to tussle there. Well, go ahead and tussle there. Well, go ahead and push there. Well, go ahead and fight there. Well, go ahead and give God the glory there. Well, go ahead and still show up there. Well, go ahead and still have discipline then. Well, go ahead and work out that body. Well, go ahead and get that mind together. Well, go ahead and get your heart right. Yeah, go ahead and forgive them folks that did you wrong. Yeah, go ahead and realize that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and who are called according to his purpose. You got to realize that all that stuff, it was just to get you in the right place at the right time, in the right position, in the right posture. God says, I was just making it all work out for you. And you don't know, you feel like you went back, but I'm about to get ready to break you through. He says, I'm getting ready to bring you forward. He says, I'm getting ready to break through you forward. You won't just birth out what I've given you. He says, but you'll break through too. He says, you'll push through too. He says, you'll be able to bust that glass and bust that stuff that's been in your way. He says, it will no longer be in your mind. He says, because God says, I'm causing you to birth and break through. Sis, walk into your birthing, walk into your breakthrough, because God wants to blow your mind. And we got to let him. Sis, I love you guys so much. If you have not at this point, if you still have not liked, commented, subscribed, and shared this video with a sister, please go ahead and do that now. Share it with somebody else, because there's somebody else that needs to hear this video. There's a sister in Christ, there's a brother in Christ that needs to understand that all the pain and everything that they went through, it is not in vain, but it is indeed to birth out and to break you through, right? I showed you that example, to break you through what has been in your way. It will no longer hinder you and hurt you, but you'll be like the one with the issue of blood and say within herself, if I could just go for it and do that business. Oh, if I could just go for it. Oh, and then you're figuring out ways and you're talking to God and he giving you strategy, instruction on how to do it. And you start applying that stuff and you start walking out in the strategy and instructions that God gave you. Oh man, there's nothing that God will withhold from you, sis. I'm telling you. Oh, this is your season. season of birthing and breakthrough. Do you hear me? Birthing and breakthrough. It's not just your birthing season, it's your breakthrough season too. So get ready for that. Get ready for whatever's been in your way to be out of your way. Get ready for whatever's been trying to stop you to get out of your way. Get ready for whatever's been trying to hinder you to get out of your way. God says, I'm making sure that you got space. I'm making sure that whatever you need is getting ready to come forth to you because you decided to commit your mind, your will, your emotions, and you allow me to shape you and grow you and stretch you so that when it's time for you to come forth, you'll not just come forth and you'll not just birth out everything that I put in you, but you'll come forth with force. You'll come forth going beyond everything that's been in your way. You'll be able to push because you've got the force to go against what's been coming against you. Sis, if you haven't, go ahead and comment below. It's my time of birthing and breakthrough. Did you hear what I said? It's my time of birthing and breakthrough. Go ahead and declare that right now and then go ahead and comment it below. It's my time of birthing and breakthrough. Sis, also, if you have not, make sure that you go ahead and click on that notification bell button that is below next to that subscribe button and click all. Also, guys, check out the series list of the 4 ways that you know that God is transforming you and changing you, okay? It deals with your appetite, your knowing, your language, and your environments. That is what God has been trying to transform us in because he's getting ready to birth out of you and bring breakthrough to your life and to your mind. As I say all the time, I cannot wait to see who you become. Until next time, sis, I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. See you guys soon.